The richest person at your office is the one everybody quietly feels sorry for. Her name is Maya. She's 33, drives a 9-year-old Camry with a dent she never bothered to fix, parks it at the far end of the lot where nobody fights for the spot, and packs the same lunch in the same soft-cornered bag. When the office orders out, somebody always offers her a slice, the way you offer it to someone who can't quite afford their own. She says, "No thanks," every time. They think it's pride. Here's what none of them know. Maya could walk into her boss's office this afternoon, quit, and never need another paycheck. Her place is paid off. Her accounts crossed 7 figures 2 years ago. Maya is the richest person in that building by a wide margin, and she spent 11 years making sure not one of them could ever tell. Today, I'll show you Maya's one habit, why almost everyone drops it the second they can afford to, and why that decision quietly costs them everything. Here's the whole secret, no tricks. Maya never let her life get more expensive than the day she started working. Most people do the opposite without ever deciding to. The raise comes, the car gets nicer, the bonus lands, the apartment gets bigger. The promotion arrives, and suddenly, the old furniture looks shabby. You've watched this happen to people you love. Income doubles, breathing room disappears. Maya made a strange choice at 22, fresh out of school. When her money went up, her life would stay exactly where it was. The gap between what she earned and what she spent, that's the only thing that was ever going to make her free. Not the salary, not the bonus, the gap. Take a woman I'll call Danielle. You already know 3 of her. Danielle waited 4 years for a promotion. It added $800 a month. That night, she finally felt like she could breathe. So she breathed. Nicer lease, bigger grocery run, better gym, a few subscriptions she never canceled. 4 months later, the $800 was gone, dissolved into a life that felt normal the second she reached it. And here's the cruel part. Danielle wasn't happier. Same Sunday night dread, just at a higher altitude. Now picture the version of Danielle who did nothing. Same car, same place, same coffee. That $800 quietly goes into an index fund instead. At an ordinary market return, in 30 years that's close to $1 million, from a raise she already earned and simply chose not to feel. Every raise you let your life rise to meet is a withdrawal from a future you'll never meet. The loudest place this habit shows up is the driveway. Maya's manager leases a new SUV every 3 years, about $700 a month, forever, because there's always a next lease. Maya bought a reliable used car for $14,000 at 24 and has driven it ever since. The difference, about $500 a month, went into the market instead of into a machine that loses value the moment it leaves the lot. Over 40 years, that one swap is worth roughly $1.3 million. A new car loses about 10% of its value the instant you drive it off the lot, 20% in year 1, nearly half by year 5. The average new car payment in America just hit a record, around $770 a month. Same parking lot, 2 completely different lives. The one that looks like winning is quietly losing. The same habit shows up in housing, except now the numbers are big enough to ruin people. Picture a couple you actually know. Income climbs, they sign for the dream place, the good building, the skyline view, the amenities they pictured filling with a whole life. And from the day they get the keys, something goes quietly wrong. The rent eats 40%, then 50% of take-home once parking, insurance, and everything else piles on. You've sat at their table, felt the tightness nobody names. A beautiful place they're too broke to enjoy, for years. Maya could have afforded that building twice over. She stayed in a modest 1-bedroom in an older part of town because the small payment is exactly what kept her money free to grow. From the outside, her place looks like she's behind. On the balance sheet, it's the reason she's free. Here's where people misread Maya completely. This was never about being cheap. Watch where her money actually goes. She'll drive the same car for 9 years, and in the same week help cover her younger sister's tuition without blinking. Ruthless on what nobody sees. Generous on what lasts. Money spent on looking a certain way is gone the moment it leaves your hand. Money spent on something real is still working for you decades later. Maya starves the budget everyone can see and feeds the one nobody can. Maya isn't a monk. She's not planning to coast through life with a huge account and a small gray existence she never let herself enjoy. The habit was only ever a tool for one job, making the gap wide enough, early enough, that the money does the heavy lifting. Maya flies home now instead of the 10-hour drive she used to grind out. She paid without flinching to be there for her mother's surgery. She buys the boots that last 15 years and the ticket to the people she loves. Spend freely on what actually makes your life better. Refuse to spend on what only makes your life look better to strangers. None of this is free. It just doesn't cost money. It costs you the way people look at you. You become the one who keeps the old car while everyone else trades up. Somebody makes the joke that's really a question. A relative decides you must be struggling. You say nothing because nothing you could say wouldn't sound like bragging or lying. That quiet not saying is the real tax on Maya's habit. Most people simply can't pay it. The fear of looking like you're failing is stronger than the wish to actually win. Maya made peace with looking behind a long time ago. She did the honest math on what being admired actually costs and decided the silence was the cheaper buy. 2 women, hired the same week, same job, same salary. Call them Taylor and Jasmine. Taylor leased the car that matched her title, stretched for the apartment, upgraded on schedule. For years, Taylor looked like she was winning. Jasmine kept driving her old car, split a modest place, and routed 1/5 of every paycheck into investments before she ever saw it. Then, one ordinary Tuesday, a reorg. Same layoff, same severance, same desk. Taylor had nothing saved and payments that didn't pause. She took the first job that called. Jasmine had a cushion deep enough to breathe. She turned down 2 offers and took the one that was right, on her own timeline. Same salary the whole way. One of them spent a decade buying the look of wealth. The other quietly bought the real thing. The biggest thing Maya is building, she may not fully see finished, because a lot of it isn't for her. It's for whoever comes next. Picture 2 dinner tables. At one, money is a tight, quiet fear, and a kid learns without a single lesson that you prove you're okay by buying something people can see. At the other, a raise gets invested, and the word equity gets said as casually as passing the salt. That kid starts life from a place Maya had to build by hand. That's what the woman in the old Camry is really building, not a number. A different starting line for somebody who isn't here yet. Tomorrow morning, Maya parks that Camry in the spot nobody wants, eats the lunch she packed, and says, "No thanks," to the offered slice, and lets everyone keep believing she never made it. She is, by a distance, none of them can imagine, the freest person in the building. So here's the only question that matters. When your money goes up, does your life quietly go up with it, or does it hold still while the gap underneath it grows? The next time you get a raise, freeze your number. Send the difference somewhere it can grow before you ever feel it. Be a Maya. Pick the gap, keep the habit, and let them think whatever they want.